The greatest lie, as far as business is concerned in the 21st century, is not so much that success is impossible. As a matter of fact, we live in an era where everyone has come to understand that it is possible to be making 6-figure, 7-figure on a monthly basis. It's become possible. So we know that. Cognitively, we know that. Because the numbers of people who are actually making this thing happen has gone up exponentially. So we know that it is absolutely possible. So this is no longer the lie as far as business is concerned. But the lie has become something more interesting. Here's the lie. We live in a society right now where, as far as business is concerned, we lie to ourselves, and we lie to the people coming to us, and we say to them, yes, you see, it's possible to be making all this money. But then we tell them a big lie, and the lie is now that execution is simple. And people now start running around with this lie that yes, as long as I have the proper business structure, as long as I have the proper business idea, I'm going to be able to jump into the pool and execute and get pretty much the same type of result as everybody else. Because after all, execution is supposed to be simple. But guess what? There are many people who spend tons of money to get access to all kinds of different master classes, all kinds of different books, strategy that's supposed to help them make things happen. But at the end of the day, at the end of the month, and at the end of the year, they look back and realize that nothing, zero has materialized. And they come to understand that yes, all of a sudden, it wasn't so much that this thing was impossible, but the lie that they bought into was to believe that execution was going to become a piece of cake. Oh, this is precisely what I would like to talk to you about as far as this last and final day of this success tracking framework is concerned series that we're going to conclude today. But for today, I'm not going to spend too much time before you. I'm just going to be very quick. And just to show you that if you really want for things to be different as far as your business is concerned, as far as this year is concerned, you have to simply come to understand one key thing. Implementation, execution is not that simple. As a matter of fact, implementation is not so much about habit formation. It's not so much about discipline, but it's simply about something key. It's about coming to a place where you're going to rewire, be intentional to rewire the neural architecture in your brain so that execution, doing certain things, or success can become basically automatic. And that's what I'd like to share with you as far as this presentation is concerned. All right? But as I said, I'm not going to be spending way too much time before you, because I believe for the past few days, I've gone above and beyond to give you more than enough when it comes to different hints and different strategies can already help you revolutionize the way you do things as far as your business is concerned. All right? So for today, I'm just going to spend some time on the first part of this presentation, which is basically the neural architecture of integration. First thing is, you have to realize that when it comes to the neural architecture of integration, the first thing you have to understand is that your brain is going to resist naturally new systems. It's not so much because you are lazy. It's because of something that's actually embedded in the structure of the brain. A hint is amygdala. The amygdala, which is basically that part of the brain that speaks to this fight or flight response that you're supposed to have when it comes to most scenarios in life, is simply telling you that yes, this is new territory that you're actually venturing in. This is new environment that you're actually putting yourself in. So potentially there is danger. So instead of you going out there and to make a fool of yourself, how about you hold back? So you want to do something, but somehow you come to realize that you keep self-sabotaging yourself. You keep basically saying no to yourself. Why? Not so much because the Masterclass didn't give you the right information. It's not simply because the information they gave was actually incorrect. It's simply because the brain is saying to that, yes, this is way too novel for you. So therefore, we have to hold back and not try to put ourselves too much in that particular environment, because you can potentially put yourself in harm's way. So you are recognizing the pattern as far as who you are is concerned, as far as how you do things is concerned. But instead of actually taking the right action, the amygdala is holding you back. Simply says, no, please don't do it, because this is too unfamiliar, therefore too unsafe for you. The second thing that you have to consider is, in every brain, there is this thing that you have to consider, which is called the cognitive overload threshold. Otherwise, there's always going to be a point where the brain is saying to that, yes, my goodness, as far as I'm concerned, in simpler terms, as far as my capacity is concerned, I think you've put worry more than enough in front of me. And as a matter of fact, the more you're actually trying to put in front of me, the more I'm simply realizing it's becoming too much for me. So I'm slowly but surely emotionally detaching from the next step I'm supposed to take. Not simply because I don't want the future that you have promised to me. I don't want the future that I want to create for my family. Not simply because the why, as far as this business is concerned, the why is not big enough. But simply because I'm coming to realize that, yes, there is this cognitive overload threshold that I've already reached as far as my own brain is concerned. So therefore, I'm becoming simply paralyzed, and the data you're giving me now, the feedback you're giving me now as far as the patterns are concerned, is now overloading and causing my brain circuitry to simply become overheated to the point where I'm simply have to check out, because it's too much too soon as far as I'm concerned. Again, it's too much too soon as far as the brain is concerned. So therefore, I'm going to emotionally detach from whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I know I'm supposed to wake up at 5 o'clock and go running in the morning and come back and drink water and make sure I eat a proper breakfast. But because this is now reaching a place where my brain is saying to me, this is too much too soon, I'm now finding reasons, excuses in the morning as to why I should stay in bed. Why I should not go out. I can stay, I can get out of my bed. But when it comes to leaving my house to go running, I look at the weather and say, no, the weather is not conducive. I can't be running in this kind of weather. Oh my goodness, I can say to myself, yes, everything is fine. The weather outside is fine. I'm already up, but I don't want to leave my house because my children are still sleeping, so I don't want to leave them all by themselves. My husband is still sleeping, so therefore I have to stay in the house because this is a place of safety. And the reason why you're doing it is simply because the brain is simply telling you, yes, you have reached the cognitive, oh my goodness, the cognitive overload threshold that's simply now causing you to now bring yourself back to a place of safety, because you say, I cannot take more of what is actually coming to me as far as the patterns are concerned, because I know that, yes, I need to cut down when it comes to the things I've been eating on a daily basis. I need to cut down when it comes to the alcohol I've been drinking on a daily basis. I need to basically change my life around. But my goodness, there's too many moving parts, and I feel like my capacity has already been reached. I can't take it anymore. So therefore, I'm going to try to find a way to simply self-sabotaging in order for me to come back to a place of normalcy. How to bypass the cognitive, the resistance loop using the neural anchoring. Yeah. The best way to explain this, let me just give you a beautiful example. In 1982, at college level in America, when it comes to basketball, two teams were basically going at each other for the championship. I believe it was North Carolina, and they were battling another team where Patrick Ewing was actually playing. And at one point, in the final minutes or the final seconds before the end of the game, Michael Jordan's team is trying to maneuver around the perimeter, around the board, so they could score something. And at one point, after passing the ball for a few seconds, they passed the ball to Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan confidently rises to the challenge and sinks from a distance that 2 points lead that he gave to his team. And he started running away. The opposing team take the ball and try now to go to the other end to counter that particular statement that Michael Jordan had made. They go and they fell. Michael Jordan, after the game, realizing that in this particular game, he had reached a high as far as his own neural architecture is concerned. That he was basically operating from a place of not just effortless or automatic behavior, but from a place of now acting like the clutch player that his team was now depending on. It was not just in the flow, but he had become a clutch player. So he was so mesmerized himself by his own performance, to the point where a few years later, when he joined the NBA, he says, no, I have to hold on to the shirt I was wearing on that particular night, because that was simply going to be an anchor or a reminder that as far as I'm concerned, I'm able to achieve this kind of performance. That's the best way to actually demonstrate that. And just in case you will say, yes, he said to himself, I'm going to hold on to the short for as long as possible, because it's going to be a trigger or basically some kind of reminder for me that, yes, I'm able to become the clutch player and the person that my team can depend on. And that's how basically the mind is also supposed to be working. The brain is supposed to be working. The brain is looking for reminder that, yes, I'm going to expose myself to certain things. And the more I expose myself to certain things, and I attach a high, intense response to that, and I simply anchor that, or basically embed that in my mind that, yes, I was able to achieve X, Y, Z, and I'm going to take a physical or something close to me to remind me that I am the one who made this thing happen. And the more I go out there to make other things happen, if I feel like, yes, I'm second guessing myself, I'm simply going to look at this particular short or particular jersey or particular thing I'm going to do myself to remind myself that, yes, you did it in the past, so you are more than able to actually keep going, because you know what, no matter what, your conscience trying to tell you you've done it in the past, so keep going. At the end of the day, you're going to meet exactly the same type of response that you did in the past, and that's something key. Yeah, so the first part is basically about pattern recognition, and the second part is all about execution. Because yes, it's one thing to be able to recognize the pattern, but the next thing is you have to move to a place of now execution. Again, we've already covered this on many different occasions. Yes, willpower does holding on to your willpower when it comes to executing certain things is not going to cut it, because at the end of the day, the willpower can only take you this much, this far, and it's something that's been covered by many other people, and I've already covered it in many different videos. But I'm going to move now to a few other strategies you can actually consider when it comes to how to go from where you are now, pattern recognition, to now start taking action. The 3-second rule. As far as business people are concerned at the highest level, in order to avoid getting to a place of decision fatigue, where you simply say to yourself, I don't know anymore what I'm going to decide as far as X, Y, Z is concerned, they simply teach themselves to do one key thing. You have to learn to make decisions within 3 seconds. Whatever comes to you have to find a way to make a decision and learn to trust yourself, because the more you do that, the more you're going to now start moving from a place of actually paralysis, because there's too much for you to consider to actually becoming the clutch player that your team, your organization, your department so is going to depend on, because they're going to come to see you as the kind of person who can see something and make a decision right away on the spot and be able to trust yourself. And confidence begets confidence. The more confidence you display when it comes to how you navigate certain things, the more your brains now to give you more opportunities now to be more confident in the future. And the funny thing is, the more confidence you display when it comes to that, the more confidence your team is going to have in you, and also want to emulate what you're doing as far as how to be decisive when it comes to how to move your business forward. Last thing I have to consider is creating neural shortcut to bypass conscious resistance. Many different things you can consider. Repetition, habit formation. At the end of the day, the brain is simply looking for familiarity. The brain is looking for familiarity. That's something key that you have to keep. The same way, that is going to stop you when you actually try to move into a new territory. The same way it's going to be okay if you're in a place where you've actually become familiar. So again, based on that principle, what you have to do is simply learn how to gradually but intentionally Learn to expose yourself to certain things. Because the more you expose yourself to certain things and the more you repeat that, and you come to a place where you're actually gaining some kind of success and traction as far as this new initiative is concerned, the more the person can simply going to say, oh my goodness, we've done that in the past, we're able to do that again, so this has become something familiar. It's repetition and habit formation, and the more you do that, the brain simply say, this is now a place of familiarity as far as we are concerned. Visualization, you're going to say to yourself, yes, not only am I going to be exposing myself gradually and intentionally to many different things, and be able to gain a feedback from my brain to say, yes, I'm okay with being in this particular place, and I can also gain success. You can also start saying to yourself, yes, I'm not there yet, but I'm going to start visualizing myself in this particular environment, and I start exposing my brain gradually but intentionally to this particular set of situation. The more the brain simply going to say, oh my goodness, it seems like so-and-so is becoming familiar with this particular environment. So there's nothing to fear as far as this particular scenario is concerned, because we've already gone through it internally, and this is something that, yes, we can actually be okay with. Cognitive reframing. You have also to come to a place where whatever is happening to you, you have to rise to the challenge and learn how to reframe whatever is happening to you, so that you don't attach any negative interpretation to whatever is happening to you, so that the brain can actually come to see that particular situation as a safe situation, and the next thing that happens to you, you'll not be running on from it, but you simply say to yourself, it happened before, I was able to deal with it successfully, so now it's happening to me again, I'm going to be okay with that. Last but not least, identity-based thinking. You can say to yourself, my goodness, I'm not there yet, but I'm going to be behaving as if I'm already there. That's number one. Number two, but I'm also going to come to a place where I say to myself, I look at the kind of person I see myself in the future becoming. So I'm going to walk backward and simply say what that is person supposed to be doing on a daily basis. And because I'm actually thinking from a place of identity, I'm going to now let the identity lead me to a place where I'll be making decisions or taking action that are consistent with the type of identity I see for myself. And perfect example for that is the Russian tennis coach by the name of Larissa Preobrazhenskaya. When she started recruiting young people, young girls to come play for a tennis club, most parents coming to her will simply say, my goodness, we want for our child to rise to the top, so therefore we want quick results. But she was saying, no, I see that yes, you have ambition as far as your child is concerned, but there's something key that you have to understand. Implementation, it's all about rewiring the neural architecture of your brain to come to a place of automatic execution. In order for that to happen, you have to repeat exposure to certain things so that the myelin around the brain can start developing certain reflexes as far as certain scenarios are concerned, creating a sense of familiarity as far as certain scenarios are concerned. Number one. Number two, you also come to a place where you start recognizing how to reframe whatever misses you have around the tennis, around the racket, around the court. So you have to come to a place where you start reframing all these things. And as you're doing that, you have to also see yourself as a champion. Because you see yourself as a champion, you're going to say to yourself, yes, a champion is supposed to be behaving in this particular manner. And the more you're also moving from a place of actually behaving, from a place of identity, slowly but surely, your actions on the court are now going to start growing larger than your opponent. And soon before you know it, you're going to start behaving like a champion. And this is the reason why Larissa Preobrazhenskaya has gone on to produce more champions as far as the tennis is concerned than any other coach out there. Because why? She was able to operate from a place of understanding as far as the brain, how it works, and how to simply rewire the neural architecture to come bring it to a place of operating from a place of automatic behavior. And I'm just going to stop right here. There's a court starting Tuesday, March the 4th, and I'll be running for over 8 weeks. I would like for you to be a part of it. The information about it will be located right below this video. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much for actually giving me the attention that you've given me so far as far as this series is concerned. So looking forward to sharing more with you. But until then, remember, the best is yet to come. But now for the best manifesting, you and I have to remain intentional when it comes to how we do certain things as far as our lives are concerned. All right? Much love. I'm out.